This week's Four Questions Journalist Spotlight is brought to you by Leff's Atlanta Media, Atlanta's best journalist database. Subscribe at leffsatlantamedia.com.
Welcome to another edition of our Four Questions Journalist Spotlight. We are talking today with Rana Cash, who works in Augusta with Augusta, Savannah, and Athens with a couple of Gannett papers in that part of Georgia. So we're going to talk about what her job is, what it means, and how you can learn to work with her a little bit more. So, Rana, tell me first, what is your background? How did you get to where you are there?
It's an interesting story, and I probably didn't take the typical path for someone who is an editor of a few papers. So I came here directly from the Louisville Courier-Journal, where I was the sports editor. My background is largely in sports, as a reporter for many years, and then as an editor. I started out at the Miami-Herald, my first job out of college. Went to Florida A&M University, and I started covering high schools, and then the PGA Tour for a while. Took a position. I covered University of Florida football. So that was fun in the Steve Spurrier era. I don't want to get too much into sports, but so I went from the Miami-Herald. I worked at the Dallas Morning News. Lived down in Austin covering UT, University of Texas. Worked at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. So lived in Georgia previously for 7 years. Then a few years at Sporting News, Minneapolis at the Star Tribune, taking this Florida girl up there in that bitter cold weather.
Wow.
But it was beautiful.
That is, yeah. Okay.
It's a wonderful experience.
That's a radical weather change there.
Absolutely. So
how long were you there?
I was only there for a couple of years, but
okay.
it was life changing. It made me tougher.
Yeah. It's beautiful up there. Did you get to travel the state a bit?
It is, yeah. It's absolutely beautiful. Just really enjoyed that, and left there where I was managing the Vikings and some other sports, and came down to Louisville, and then I came to the Savannah Morning News last May.
Okay, so tell us, what is your title?
Mm-hmm. So I am the editor of the Savannah Morning News, and I'm the Georgia State Director. So in addition to Savannah, I also oversee the Augusta Chronicle and the Athens Banner-Herald.
Okay, and those are all owned by Gannett, is that correct?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We're all Gannett properties.
All right, so managing three papers, are you day-to-day with all three of those papers, trying to kind of manage the content for all of those?
Sure. Fair question, and no.
Thank God, no, right?
Right. So on a day-to-day basis, I manage Savannah.
Okay.
And so everything that's happening here in this community, what's going on in our backyard, I'm really involved in the hands-on day-to-day operations here in Savannah. And then I oversee the editors or managers in Augusta and Athens. Augusta and Savannah have similarly sized newsrooms. Athens is a little bit smaller, but has a big footprint there with the University of Georgia, right, from an academic standpoint and athletically. So we have a lot going on at all of our properties.
Okay. So you picked a crazy time perhaps to start a new job with the pandemic starting. So how did you manage that? Were you able to kind of make that all work?
So I was in Louisville at the start of the pandemic, and I got this job in May, but I stayed in Louisville for a little while before coming down to Savannah. I moved here at the end of June, right before July 4th weekend, and was given some good advice about not trying to go to Tybee Island on 4th of July weekend and get stuck on the bridge.
Smart, yeah.
And so it's interesting starting a new job of any kind, but particularly one when you're in leadership and in newsrooms, because any reporter will tell you, any editor, one of the things that we like best, and a lot of industries are like this, that sort of spontaneity and the ideas that come out of just brainstorming and standing around each other's desk and You overhear a reporter talking about one thing or another, and it's just a more organic way to run a newsroom than doing it remotely. And there was a while before I even met most of my staff in person.
Yeah, I had a client who started a new job right around March of last year, and I don't think she's met most of her people yet, physically at least. So, are you getting back? Are your people getting back in the newsroom now, or is that process starting?
It's starting. We should be cleared to get back into the newsroom the middle of next month. So really looking forward to that. I don't think we'll ever get back to the point where everyone is sitting around their desk every day, all day. And quite frankly, I'm okay with that because the news is happening out there, not inside, right? So you want your reporters out in the community. But we're looking forward to getting back in the building. We have a beautiful office on Chatham Parkway, and just rubbing shoulders with one another again.
My wife worked in TV for a long time, and the news director always used to say, at the last station she was at, always used to say, if you guys are sitting at your desk in the newsroom, you're not out in the field where you should be.
That's right.
He'd like, I want to see empty desks.
It's kind of like, a parent telling their kid, like, go outside and play.
Right. Yeah. Go outside and do your job. Yeah.
That's right.
You're not doing your job. You're not doing your job if you're sitting here in the newsroom.
Right.
So obviously, kind of all three papers, you want kind of good local focused stories. You don't want people pitching you stories that are not about one or more of those markets, right?
Right. Yeah, that's important. To get stories that it helps a lot when you get a pitch from someone and it looks like they're paying attention to what you've done, that you're not just on a master listserv,
big mailing list,
mailing list that's going out to 1 million people, but it's really thoughtful, and they try and understand what your market is and your newsroom and how you operate. And it might be a different pitch from one newsroom to another, even within the same city. So, those are the kinds of pitches that are more likely to get our attention.
Are there certain issues or topics that are front and center for and you can say which of the papers or all of the papers right now?
Yeah. We're just like really community based. We're stories that are centered around people and that are solutions oriented, particularly now as we're looking at disparities and inequities in our communities. Who's out there trying to solve issues? And we're always looking for storytelling, like people who just have really compelling and interesting backgrounds. I tell my reporters all the time when they're pitching a story and you turn in a story, be interesting. And so that's what we're looking for, like really unique stuff, not that's cookie cutter and that would fit any and everywhere. Here we're focused a lot on the environment and healthcare, local government, obviously, education, growth and development is a big one that's here for us. And then businesses that are opening and closing and how people have shifted during COVID. And I think that's those are topics of interest in all three of our markets.
Okay. Yeah, and I feel like each of your markets is somewhat unique. I mean, Savannah's got the ports and that whole industry, and Athens has the college up there, and Augusta's got that little power plant they're trying to build up there too, right?
Right, and power plant and healthcare is really big there, and they have the university there as well. So there's enough to go around. There are a lot of stories to tell. We have a really expert healthcare reporter in Augusta, Tom Corwin. He does a great job on covering research and trends that are happening in the healthcare industry. We just hired a statewide reporter who's going to be based in Augusta, but writing stories for all three, stories that have to do with public policy, the convergence of public policy and data reporting. So that's going to be really good. And that can touch on a lot of areas. Okay. And here in Savannah.
I'm sorry, who's the Augusta reporter? Can you say it?
Abe Kenmore. We can't announce it. He's on he's on the books. He starts on Tuesday.
Good.
Abraham Kenmore. And then here in Savannah, Mary Landers covers the environment for us. She's an expert in that area. She's one of the few people in the area who's like really devoted and committed to that topic, to climate and the parks and things like that, tree canopies. That's a big deal here in Savannah. So each place has a sort of a niche type of coverage area.
Yeah, Mary's been there for a while, hasn't she?
Yeah, 24 years.
Yeah, I remember working with her years ago on something. I can't remember what the story was.
Yeah.
I sometimes forget. It's like, I know I worked with like you and I worked on something when you were at the AJC, and I can't remember what it was. It was
I did a lot of different jobs at the AJC.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was trying to remember. Go back through my electronic files, such as they are, and see if I could
cover probably consumer finance. I used to do like the Atlanta Bargain Hunter.
That's what it was. Yeah, it was some of that. All right, so now the fun stuff. So tell me something fun about Rana that people might not know. Maybe like competitive skydiving or mountain climbing.
Let's see. So I ran track in college. It's a long time ago, but I continued to coach, like volunteer coach, for many years. I haven't gotten into that in Savannah yet, but that's something that I've been into for a while. Youth athletics. I don't know if that's interesting or not, but
that's good.
It's something.
Yeah, I think people kind of find the things that are passionate to them, that they think that their own way to give back. And I always tell folks, you give back in the way that makes sense for your passions and your skills. And some people give of their time, and some people give of their money, and some people do it otherwise. All right. So last book that you read that you want to admit to publicly.
The Underground Railroad by Colston Whitehead. I believe there's a movie out about it right now as well.
Yeah, I think there's one on Netflix or something, or Netflix or Amazon. Yeah. All right.
Yep.
All right.
Just finished reading that. I'm in various stages. You can't see over here, but I'm in various stages of 7 different books sitting on my book
Tell me
stand.
about
So
it. Yeah,
I don't know if that's good or bad.
that's okay. Yeah,
it's something.
That's good. All right, favorite local restaurant. What have you found that you really like?
I haven't. Because of the pandemic, I was really, and I'm vaccinated now, and I feel like I can get out more safely. But I really haven't gotten a lot out in Savannah, so I'm open to recommendations from any and everybody. I love seafood, so
I think you're in the right place then.
Yeah. So point me in the right direction. I'll be there.
I've heard Savannah has 1 or 2 good restaurants somewhere.
It's a foodie town.
It is a little bit, yeah. All right. So have you found a local getaway, someplace you like to go and walk or sit or absorb just nature or something like that?
Yeah, there's the Truman Trail here. That's really nice and a nice place to relax. It's going to be harder to do once the summer really sets in here.
Is that a walking and biking kind of thing?
Yeah, walking, biking trail in town. And I also, and long before I moved to Savannah, I like going up to Isle of Palms outside of Savannah and Charleston there.
Right.
It's less than a tank of gas, really quick getaway. It's really beautiful. It's one of my favorite places to go and hide.
you might check out St. Simon's Island when you get a chance.
St. Simon's Island, yep.
Yeah, it's really nice down there. All right, and last question is your favorite non-work hobby?
Let's see. You mentioned nature. There's probably a photo out there somewhere of me with some binoculars, bird watching. I love getting out into nature. I love flowers and trees and birds and the ocean, and I like hiking quite a bit.
You have picked the right place to work then.
Yeah,
because you've got all of that on the coast there.
I love it. I love it here. I'm having a great time. It's just absolutely beautiful. And I feel like I've found my sweet spot.
That's great. I may drag my wife. Not that it'll be much of a dragging, but I'll drag my wife to Savannah, and three of us can find some good restaurants together.
I love that.
Excellent. Anything else about your work with the newspapers? Anything that folks should know about? What's the best way for folks to contact you? Is there like email, Twitter, Facebook? What's the beta?
Sure. Email address rcash@gannett.com.
Okay.
So just shoot me a note if you have some thoughts or a tip or something like that. I'm on Twitter at Rana_Cash. Good way to, is that it? At Rana_Cash. That's a good way to reach me.
Wait, let me see, because I had it up before. Let's see.
I'm pretty sure that's it. RANA_
Yeah, that's it. That's
Cash.
it.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it here. That's it.
Yeah, I'm pretty active on Twitter, so that's always a quick and easy way to find me. But yeah, so we're trying to do great work down here. We're trying to broaden our audience. We're trying to reach a younger audience. We're really active on Instagram with our Savannah Now account. We're trying to reach an audience that is younger and ready and really interested in media and really interested in their community more so than anything. How to make a better Savannah, how to make a better Augusta. In Athens, we have some Report for America interns who are going to be coming in and covering diverse communities. We're really trying to move into and better cover communities of color, which is something that we hadn't always done a great job of. And that's across the board. So we have some big initiatives, we have some big ideas, great vision for who and what we want to be. And I'm looking forward to year 2.
Excellent. Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to working with you, and hopefully you'll get some lunch invitation for some folks in Savannah who will show you their favorite spots to dine.
Right. And yeah, send them my way.
Yeah, excellent. Well, Rana, I appreciate it. I know it's been a busy day for you, but I appreciate you taking a couple of minutes to chat. And with that, I will let you get back to your day. Thank you, folks, for joining in. This has been another edition of our 4 Questions Journalist Spotlight, and we'll see everyone next week.